It's funny because the preview screen didn't tell me that this is going on, so I can do pin chat. Thank you so much. Okay, great. I don't have a moderator or anything. So hello, welcome to Friendly Filmmaker Live. This is very ad hoc. I'm doing it on my phone because, to be frank with you, I haven't had a lot of time. I just haven't. You know, there's part of running your own ship is you basically report stuff that you're doing, and then the other part is that you actually go out and do the stuff that you're doing. And so really this is what I've been battling with all week. Actually for the last month, really. That's just how it goes, because I'm in post-production on a bunch of stuff. I'm in pre-production on a bunch of stuff. Anybody who's an indie filmmaker knows that you've always got something you're juggling. And yeah, and on top of that, I've been sick and I lost my voice and it hasn't fully come back yet. And I kind of need it because one of the things that I'm doing is actually involving some singing. And yeah, it's just a lot. So if I cough on stream, just, please forgive me. But right now I thought I'd stream and at the same time work on the weekly email that I send out. If you're not subscribed, I don't know. Maybe you're not in the New England area or something. Maybe we're not Facebook friends. I don't know. Maybe you didn't know about it. But basically, I try to link the entire community together. I like making people meet people who can then get together and make some art. I love building out networks and connecting with other filmmakers and artists and actors and writers and musicians and DPs and all that stuff. I love it. And so this newsletter that I send out every single week is in service of that. And I'm working on today's. So systems make the dream work, right? So basically my system is that I go to all my regular groups, I talk to the people that I normally talk to, and anything that I hear through the grapevine goes into my email. Events that I heard of, or, haha, hilarious, great, thank you so much. Events that I heard of, or casting notices, crew calls, things like that. So, yep. And I do this through Squarespace. Squarespace doesn't have the greatest email marketing tool, but it is linked up with my website, which is very handy. And I get to send out stuff from a pre-saved template, which is great. And it's very, very useful. The newsletter subscriber count has been steadily rising, which is great because I like to connect to people who actually get use out of my emails. Get use out of my stuff. So some people, I talked to an actor friend of mine, a couple actor friends of mine actually have said the same thing, which is that they just scroll down to the gigs part and see if there's anything casting that they want to know about. A couple people just kind of peruse the entire thing. I try to keep it short. Like every single thing is kind of bullet listed and try to get to the point fast because people are just scrolling on their phone. They want to get to the point of things, and I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I don't wax poetical. If you want to see me wax poetical, go to my Ko-fi blog, because that's where I do some waxing. Wax on, wax off. Bastiges. Shout out to coffee. And Ko-fi, for that matter. It didn't freeze. That's just me doing an awkward face. Okay, so really I wanted to kind of run through what it is that I do. So for my drafts, I have stuff that I've sent. 51. I've been doing this for a year. More than, because there are some that, there are some weeks that I didn't get to send anything, and there are also stuff that, like, emails that I sent out, like, doubling up and saying, hey, I'm sending out this notice. So sorry. It's just not going away, guys. All right. Okay, so what do? Basically, I go in, I open up my last, the most useful one that I can find. My open rates are pretty good too, according to the limited research that I've done in marketing. And that's really good news because I want people to only sign up if they plan to use my email. If this is a burden on them, I don't want them on my list. They're not getting any use out of it. I'm not helping them. Don't sign up if it's not going to be useful to you. Or sign up, check, and then unsubscribe if you don't like it. That too. Anyway. I realized that I haven't posted a video in a long time. I haven't had a live stream. I'm going to do another live stream next week. I still haven't finished the Lego live stream, which I'd like to get back to. But right now is such a busy season because not only that, but as many people do, we got summertime coming up. And there's going to be lots of times when I'm away from the desk. And I want to make sure that I'm still kind of connected to the community and helping people while I'm away. So I'm busy stuff out in advance to schedule it and post it. Sorry. So I'm going to reuse this template. If anybody's done a Ko-fi thing before, I'm going to blast it out to my crew. What picture should I use? Where honey? Oh, let's check my I'm getting a text message from the husband. Let's see. He's handling dinner. They're having dinner while I stream and while I work. Lots of filmmaking news lately as well, which I like to stay on top of as much as I possibly can. Okay, so why did I decide to stream? Honestly, because I've got a lot of stuff, because I miss streaming. I miss connecting with the community and telling you what all I've been up to. Polls! Y'all. Ko-fi just rolled out polls and not this kind of poll. I mean like answer a survey poll. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. Can't wait. Definitely going to be using that quite a bit. Especially for my top tier supporters, because they will be deciding video topics that I do. I actually did already a video topic. God, I'm pulled in so many directions. A video topic this week that was based on just a passing by question, but two people serendipitously will get value out of this that I know in my own personal circle. 2 people at the same time had the same issue come up, and I'm like, all right. Maybe more people want to know about this. So I recorded a video, and it's just an ad hoc video. It's really kind of a regular talking head on my phone because I just wanted to get the information out there. When I have more time, I'll set up more production stuff. Maybe I'll re-record the video. Maybe I'll take what I did and dress up the edit a little bit more. My editor is coming back from vacation, so I've got some interviews in the bank for him. Again, my voice is garbage, so I need to do intros and outros for that before he gets back from vacation so that I can give it to him and be like, do that. And hopefully it magically appears because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 9 interviews. Oh, hello. Hello from New Mexico. I've been to New Mexico. It's wonderful there. I love New Mexico. I want to go there and film. Oh, it's got some beautiful vistas. It's got some beautiful scenery. I love it so much. I went to Albuquerque. I lived in Albuquerque for just a couple weeks or so. Stayed, I guess. Love it. Hi. What brings you here? Are you a filmmaker too? Yeah, so this is just me talking about like the casting business and figuring out filmmaking on a no budget filmmaking. Just practicing with what you have. I'm actually going to schedule a live stream very soon, where I top to bottom make a movie in front of you. Yes, I love making silly short films. Yes, I do too. I love making people laugh. I discovered that of all the genres that I do, I've done horror, I've done suspense, I've done thrillers, I've done dramas, I did all sorts of stuff, but I love comedy best. I'm with you right there. I love it the best. I've got 2 done and 2 more in post, and I'm trying to hit a deadline because there's a festival local to me. I don't know if you've ever heard of Shawna Shea Film Festival. It's in Worcester in Massachusetts. It's a really nice festival, and I want to hit the deadline to submit for that. It's like about to be the final deadline for that, and I want to see if I can make it. Ooh, pressure. Do you have a YouTube channel? I'm curious about everybody in chat now. Um, yeah. I'm gonna look everybody up after this. So yeah, so then nice. Okay, I'm definitely gonna look you up after this. I can't wait to see what you made. I love short films. What do you find is the hardest part of making your films? Do you find the writing, the pre-production, or are there problems on set? Are there problems on set? Yeah, no worries. Or do you like basically all of it? Yeah, writing. Yep. Writing is tough because you want to get everything kind of spit polish perfect. I've had those days. I like the writing. I think my toughest part is doing everything efficiently in pre-production. Yeah. Yeah. Coming up with good ideas takes forever. I hear that. I hear that. I have moments where I'm like flooded with ideas and I jot them all down, but then sometimes bridging the gap, like while I'm writing, I'm having trouble like building it out. And then I'm sitting there and I'm staring into the abyss. And I'm like, all right, I know I want to get from point A to point B. How do I logically bridge that together? And sometimes that's the toughest part for me when I'm writing. I hear that. Do you do indie film or is it like on the side as a side gig? Because most of the people I know in the indie community are full of like they have jobby jobs and they have families and they have kids and they just do all this on the side. Nice. Nice. That's awesome. See, when it's just for fun, I feel like you make your best work. I think it's like when you're just doing it for the sake of having fun and there's no pressure, there's no demands, there's no deliverable that you have to hit or any metrics or whatever. It's just fun for fun's sake. That's my favorite. I love it. I hope you submit something of yours to Shawna Shea so that the whole New England community could get to know your work, especially with comedies. Oh my gosh. You would be very well loved up in Worcester. So I can shoot you some I can post something. Yeah, yeah, Shawna Shea. There's a lot of other festivals that I'm a big fan of. I have some of them logged in my Ko-fi page, but I'll hit you up with a link or something to jot a few of them down. You should look them up because it's always hard. I find for festivals, especially like when I'm submitting to a festival, I'm like, I don't know you. Like, I don't know if this is your vibe. I don't know what you want. I have a bunch of different things that I could give you. Is this even gonna work? And then sometimes I get the rejection and I'm like, that's because I didn't know you. So, but if you know ahead of time that this is the vibe of this festival, yes! Oh, the local 48 kicks off tonight, but I'm too intimidated to try. Just go for it. Or even better, if you're too scared to like do the 48 like whole hog, do what I did, which is like start on somebody else's team and take a small role. Like I'll be a PA on your 48 and just link up with the 48s on others so you get a taste of the flavor. And then you decide whether or not you want to run your own team or just join up on somebody else's team next time. Maybe make some friends. Oh, the 48s. I love doing the 48s, I got to tell you. Like, oh, I love it. Oh man, that kicks off tonight. Good luck to everybody in New Mexico. That's going to be fun. I hope everybody has fun and they get good props. I'm actually one of the ones that I've got in post is a dark comedy that I did for the Boston 48. It's a lot of fun. So I'm trying to polish up that. Oh yeah, good question. Before you do the 48, do you come up with the ideas ahead of time for all the genres? I have a video where I talk more extemporaneously about this, but the short story is, yeah, kinda, a little bit. It's more like I know the team, I know the locations, and I know what I could get in a pinch. So now that I have those three buckets of limitations and I know the sandboxes that I have, what I wind up doing is I kind of conceive of, okay, if we draw this out of the hat, and I always look at the categories that they announce for the year so that I know, like, oh, okay, film the femme isn't on the list this year. I'm not even going to worry about that, whatever. And I just kind of scan it and I think to myself, all right, if we get spy, how much leather stuff do we have? Do we have access to a car? Am I going to be filming in a parking lot at night? Can I have some candy glass on set to make it kind of action packed? Do I know anybody that's a stunt coordinator? Things like that. And I just kind of run through the scenario in my head of what happens if I get this genre. And then, yeah. So for example, this year, actually, as soon as we had dark comedy, because I already knew the team that I built together, and I only had one wild card actor that I hadn't worked before, I was like, I'm going to write him apart. And I'm going to make it a sizable part. but it's going to be low pressure. So aside from that, I knew the strengths and weaknesses of all the actors I was working with. As soon as we heard dark comedy, I was like, I had one loaded. I had one kind of mentally prepared of like, all right, we're doing one that's where a woman, the protagonist, attends her own wake and finds out how hard she Scrooged it in life. Like nobody likes her there. So that's comedy. And the fallout from that. So I gave all of the actors, I was able to sort of sketch out the idea of, okay, this person would really play this archetype very well. This person would have fun in this kind of a role. This person would chew the heck out of some scenery here. Yeah, dark comedy is one of my favorites too. I'm actually writing another one just for me, for funsies. It has a little bit of horror in it. So I guess I take back what I work in. Yeah, the comedy part is the aspect for me. And it just has a couple horror scenes in it. Well, that's how it goes. But yes, to answer your question, when I approach the 48, especially this late in the season, building out my team and my resources is how I sort of run through the little checklist of categories and be like, okay, this is a good idea if we get this. This is a good idea if we get this. And I have just a rough little log line idea prepared, at least in here and sometimes on my notebook, just so that I can keep track of all of them, just in case we get this. So like, oh, buddy film. All right, who has a car and who are the main two protagonists and what do they bump into? And then the rest has to be shaped by the other elements that are given to you. So like a buddy film where it's a balloon and a trapeze artist and the line is, you know, go get him or whatever. You won't know those things until the actual day, so don't put too much pressure on it. But just a rough outline of like, okay, if we get buddy film, who do I have on my team that's like a good mix that you can write something to, and then the other castmates are peripheral to that story, whatever it might wind up being. Boom, that's it. That's the deepest you go. You don't sit there and write scripts for every single thing. That's way too much pressure. No. That's not how I prepare for a 40. I don't deep dive that hard. But yeah, I kind of do have everything prepared. And so yeah, I do have a little like log line, a little mental checklist of, if I get this, I'm ready. Oh yes. Do I ever appear in my films? Yup. Oh, well, that's okay. Everybody has different wishes, different strengths, different ways to create. I'm too shy. Don't worry about that. If you're too shy, then you know you want to be the writer, you know you want to be the director, you know you want to be a producer, you know you want to be like maybe off to the side and kind of Hitchcock it, you know, like he walked on sets, but he didn't really give himself like huge speaking lines with to be or not to be. No, he just played to his strengths. He knew that artistically he wanted to create behind the scenes, behind the camera, tell the actors, have the control of what the actors say and how they deliver it, and then how that all is edited together. Yo, there's so much creativity to be found other places than in front of the camera. That's why it's such a team sport. No, don't worry about being too shy. Don't ever worry about that. That's not, if you're just hanging out with a bunch of friends and you're doing what you love. So if you love the writing, do that. If you love the PA work of like being like a fast thinker and problem solver and you're the ninja on set, let's go. Do that. If you like to direct, do that. If you have a very clear vision of what you want the final look to look like, then be a DP. Just, you know, there's lots of stuff that you can do. Don't worry about it. Don't pressure yourself into being everything. Just focus on the things you like. I happen to like a whole bunch of crap. But if I didn't like, I don't know, sound design, which actually is one of my least favorite things, like sound design, I could learn it. But that sounds like misery to me. And I have friends who that gets them revved up. So just go with that, you know? No worries. Yeah, no, not everybody has to be in front of the camera. Don't worry about it. But yes, I love acting and I love being a goof and I love making people laugh and I love a little bit of improv here and there. So yeah, I definitely stand in front of the camera as much as behind it. It's a lot of fun. Is it too late for you to join a team? I mean, I know kickoff is tonight, but maybe you have a friend who's like, hey, I'm doing a team. And you could be like, can I PA on it? I'll show up. Like, I'll be there on Saturday. Or do crafty or something. Just so that you're there and have the whole vibe and just join a team. Maybe that could be fun. Okay, you know what? You can hit up the Facebook group. I know the 48 actually has a pretty robust Facebook network. Are you on Facebook? That's okay. Lots of hermits create in a vacuum. Actually, during the germ times, the COVID times, that's fine. That's another reason why I run my newsletter. A lot of people don't do Facebook or social media at all because it's, I don't know, pretty toxic sometimes and demands a lot of your time, and yeah, it's full of nonsense. But there's nothing that beats getting good, useful information delivered right to your inbox, and so that's what I'm trying to serve here. But you could reach out to your city people, which is Googleable. You don't have to have Facebook to do this. So you could go to the 48-hour film site, look up your city, get the contact information of the person that runs the New Mexico Your City event, and reach out to them and be like, okay, so where is there a networking group? Usually they run it as a Google spreadsheet, which again, you don't need to have Facebook for. And then you can just kind of spit out some emails. Maybe not this year, maybe next year, or, you know, maybe even tonight, because maybe they're desperate and they're like, oh, yeah, we would love to have a random PA come up. I got a job as an extra in the movie Coming Home, and I was hooked. I love the process of movie making. Oh, I hear that. I love origin stories. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Yeah, that's another way that you could do it too, is there's a lot of like industry standard websites that are made for like hiring people, and they want to be able to link up PAs that do this or extras or some, however. How did I get involved? What's my origin story? Oh, okay. Long story. Short version. I always was a bit of a ham, and I always liked writing. Those are my top two. So the acting and the writing were like, those were childhood favorites. But of course, my parents were like, no. We want you to have a nice, solid, dependable, I will be eating this month career. So, so when time came for college, I had that as a side gig while I was pursuing a different degree. And then I had a jobby job, and I was doing the side work. So basically what I did was that in college, and I was always making, like, I grabbed my mom's JVC, here's a throwback, right? In the backyard, and me and my siblings would just play around and making little home movies. I learned how to edit on something called Avast. It's a program that was running on like Windows 92 or 93 or whatever it was, and then doesn't exist anymore. Now it's I don't know, they repurposed the name, who cares? And I learned those little tiny basics on my own. So when I went to college, I was like, okay, I want to find the other film nerds. And I knew that there was just a brand new, at the time, filmmaking department. And so I just kind of looked around, and I serendipitously ran into a poster around that area of campus that was saying, oh, we need producers for a project, come to this presentation. I was like, whoa, that's awesome. And so this cool kid had put together a presentation. I remember this dude was rocking a suit, had a PowerPoint presentation. It was very put together. And he joked, because he was doing it on the side too, and he joked that this is the management approach to film. I'll never forget that. It was a good experience. It was like a year and a half where we were just working on this one project. And then from then on, I just kind of used the internet, used my surroundings to talk to people and figure out where the film nerds at, where the actors at, where the theater people at. So I've been doing theater and film on the side of whatever else I had going on, including now. But I made the jump to start my own production company, which is just very small and budding, but it's mine. And that's Friendly Filmmaker. And so I did that the same year my boy was born. and I've been working on it ever since. That's my origin story. A bit long, but there you go. Yeah. Are there any more 48s in your vicinity? Yeah, thank you. Are there any more 48s in your immediate vicinity? Like, maybe you can't hit the target for this one in New Mexico, or is there only one in New Mexico? Because that would be kind of weird. Let me look this up. I'm curious now. 48-hour film project, New Mexico. I think only the one in Albuquerque. Yeah, that sounds weird, right? I mean, New Mexico is a big place. Maybe somebody who wants to do it in a... I love Albuquerque. That's where, I went up in a hot air balloon. I have a huge hot air balloon community up there. I would love to do a film involving hot air balloons, or at least during the October season, or this is like 20 years ago or something. Yeah, wouldn't it be great, right? Bust out a nice Blackmagic 6K Pro and get some cool footage. Yep, let's go. You could just do that for fun and just post it online. People would love that. not a lot of access. I mean, everybody's taking eclipse videos from where they are, or they drive to a destination or whatever. But yeah, October in Albuquerque has its own set of adventures that not many people even know about. 48-hour film project. Yeah, just Albuquerque seems to be. Let's go here. Maybe there are more New Mexico cities that are not popping up. You want to know something cool? Were you a fan of Breaking Bad? Yeah. Oh, no kidding. My dude, that's such a crazy thing for you to say right now. First off, Breaking Bad, awesome show. It broke my heart. So I was definitely one of those skimmer fans. Like, I didn't watch it the whole way through just because I couldn't mentally handle it. I'm too much of an empath. I was just broken every single step of the way. And it got pretty messed up towards the end. But I kept up in my own way. That is so cool. And you want to know something? That you touched upon something that's very cool. Don Eladio House in Mexico. Cool. Yo, I'm gonna look that up. That's so cool. That's so cool. Let's register as if I'm registering. Find your city, continent, United States. I'm going back to this, like, multiple topics. How many do you do this too, where you're juggling like multiple topics? Because that's just all my life. Albuquerque, Asheville. Oh man, they go by this. What if I don't know all of Mexico? New Mexico, Indianapolis, Jackson City, Little Rock, Arkansas, Louisville, Lynchburg. Yeesh. Maybe change your name. Jesus Christ. What's Paducah? I never heard of that one. Slap a yellow filter on and poof, you are. Yeah, that's very true. Well, yes, but also no. In fact, up here, speaking of 48s, one of the dreaded categories up here in my parts, everything is so municipal and city-like that nobody wants to get the category of Western. But the New Mexico landscape would slay with that category. New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, Lower California, those areas, Texas, desert, and really cool to look at. And yeah, you could probably even access a ranch here and there. So yeah, you're right though. I mean, that's pretty fun to put a yellow filter on it. It depends on what else you've got in the frame. But yeah, that's the basic idea. Definitely a lot of oranges and yellows in New Mexico films. It's so good. I still am afraid of getting a Western for a category in a 48. We did musical. We were ready for that. That was cosmically ordained. I'm telling you here right now. That was a gift from the universe. I had the right team at the right time with the prop, like, underhand. Everything was there. So fun. And we went, like we were talking earlier about just creating for creating's sake. We just had the best time making that film. It was crazy. We apologize for any inconvenience. Shows off some of the beautiful New Mexico scenery. Oh, is that on your channel? Because I wanna see it. I'm gonna see it after this. I love New Mexico. And after this, let's see, New Haven, New Orleans. Yeah, not a lot. Worldwide, get out of here. Tampa, Florida, Savannah. Where's Savannah? I don't know where Savannah is. Some of these, San Antonio. Oh, that's Texas. St. Louis, Richmond, Reno. Yeah, so you don't have a lot in New Mexico. Just the one, seems like. Unless I don't know, because I don't, El Paso, oh, that's Texas again. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to look up your film after this. Yeah, that's the other thing about film, is that we seem to be getting in our own way as creators, thinking that we're so limited as to what we have, when we have things that other people don't have. Yeah, I can't wait. And so that makes sense. Like, you look around and you're like, oh God, this is New Mexico. I see this every single day. It's boring. There's dirt everywhere. Oh, look, another puffy cloud. I'm so great. Ugh. But to somebody like me who lives on the other side of the coast, where there's 4 seasons and it's different, and the color of the dirt is different, and the access to, like, the wildlife is not there, and things, that there are so many cool stories that I feel can be told over there. And so everybody should kind of take a little look in their own sphere and be like, look, what do I have access to that maybe somebody across the coast doesn't have access to, or on the other side of the planet doesn't have access to? Like, my holiday break is during the winter when it's snowing outside. But half the planet doesn't have that experience. Isn't that kind of cool? So the same applies to here. Like I have access to bridges and the rivers and the Boston skyline and cool cityscapes in my own backyard. So I am actually working on this where I'm paying closer attention to the fact that I could just do something here. And it would mean more to people who don't have access to it. And I could show off, like you did in your film, I could show off some of the cool things that you can see from my neck of the woods, from my hometown. That's cool. I'm so happy. Yeah, they should really have, for dumbos like me, see, they have Portland, Maine and Portland, Oregon delineated because there are two. Oh, Portland's back. That's great. I used to do the 48 in Portland. I'm happy to see that it's back on the list because it wasn't for literal years, maybe even a decade. And that's the other thing is that you can reach out to, and again, like not, is filmmaking, no, it's part-time. Is filmmaking full-time job for you? No, I do this part-time. I like to, I'm with my kids full-time, and I will do that until they don't need me anymore. I like that, and on top of that, I like the balance between work life and home life. And so I only work on this, on filmmaking, in the production side, writing side, editing side, recording side, all these things. I work maybe about 10, 12 hours a week, and then, which is why live streaming is such a big deal for me. So I'm like, okay, I don't have time to put up the camera and everything else, so I'll just do it on my phone. And then on top of that, I'll do the occasional festival and the occasional film shoot. So I do this very minimally part-time, pretty part-time. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, let's see. I am gonna try to finish up this email and also post something. It's actually funny because one more thing I'll mention, and then I think I have to go for a different stream. Hang on a sec. Okay, there we go. You touched upon location rentals and locations, and we were talking about locations in general, but I mean like specifically. And there are, like you said, that house that was used in there, I literally am working this week on a video talking about how to put your house or property, something that you legally own, into a registry in your film office for your state, so that if bigger production companies or any sort of, even independent features with a small and modest budget, they need a location and they have a location scouting department, they literally just go to the film office of that particular state and look through some addresses and look through some pictures, and you literally could be making a living off of renting out your house or your property or your ranch or whatever you have, maybe even your business, for film people, right? It's such a good idea. And I just literally, like, somebody was thinking about doing it more seriously because we're using one particularly very cool location for an independent film that we're shooting with a friend, but it's of course like arranged by a friend of a friend. But since he knows that I do film like more long-term and seriously and things or whatever, so he asked me, he said, okay, how do I do this more and maybe make a living on it? And so I'm making a video right now, like right now. I've already recorded it. I just want to edit it to something that doesn't suck. Where I talk a little bit more about this. So, I mean, serendipitous, man. The universe is telling me this is the time for that video. So that's awesome. I hope it helps a whole bunch of people. Okay, so yeah, so I mean, if you have your access onto like a house or something, some people, they literally have an entire house. They're empty nesters. Thank you so much. Likewise, I'm gonna check out your channel. Thank you so much. They're empty nesters or what have you. They live in one part of their house and then they rent out the rest of the house with a few provisos and stuff like that. Like, please don't go here, please don't record there. And then, you know, you have to be out by this time, blah, 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 whatever. They arrange this ahead of time with the film office. And that's how they make a living. And you can make a pretty decent living doing that if you can manage it. And yeah, so I'm excited to put that one out there for everybody to kind of think about. So anyway, I appreciate everybody on stream today. I actually have to go to finish this letter and then finish a whole bunch of stuff. And I mean, yeah. So thank you again. I will be streaming again, yeah, next week or maybe the week after. Either way. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Bye. Bye, Wes. So nice talking to you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.